Hello everybody, it's me Alex the Hunted, and while you wait for me to finish my Invasion of the Astro Monster review, which is being edited as you watch this video, I wanted to do a quick video about, well, a list that came online a few days ago, which has been making the rounds on the Godzilla community for all the wrong reasons. For basically being one of the worst lists involving Godzilla, well, ever really, and it comes from our good old friends ScreenRant. Yes, so you know it must be shit if it's a sticking out bad list from ScreenRant. Anyway, so originally this list was called the 10 monsters that are stronger than Godzilla. But they recently changed the name to 10 monsters that are in the same league as Godzilla. Because, well, you read this list and you realise they had no clue what they were talking about. Let's dive in, shall we? Number 10 on the list is actually one that you could probably argue with, the Pacific Rim Kaiju. As it says, the Pacific Rim are the lesser known blockbuster series created by Guillermo del Toro. Despite the first movie underperforming at the box office, these movies about massive robots fighting equally massive monsters still managed to get a sequel. Unfortunately, the sequel didn't live up to the film's critical acclaim. This doesn't really have much to do with, well, are these monsters in the same league as Godzilla? But let's dive in. The basic plot of Pacific Rim is that monstrous kaiju have risen from the depths of the ocean, and the only way to fight them off is by using technologically advanced robots called Jaegers. Yeah, I think if someone's reading this list, they know what these monsters are. And also, these kaijus are aliens. You know, they come from another planet. Actually, I think it's another dimension. So they're rising from the ocean, but they're also space aliens. The kaiju in this film would not exist without Godzilla. How? But given how many there are, they could probably overpower him. Well, that could be said about any sort of kaiju or giant threat. If you just get enough of them, then they could overpower anyone. But as you watch the kaijus in the Pacific Rim movie, yes, they are strong, but they're also very, very fragile. They get beaten up and torn apart very easily in the movies. So, yes, while they are strong, I don't think Godzilla would have much problem with them. Let's move on, and this is where the list really gets bad. Number 9 is the Alien. Okay, first of all, they're called xenomorphs, but really? Not even the queen alien? Not even the xenomorph queen? Just a normal alien is on the same league as Godzilla? Okay, let's dive into this. The Alien franchise, created by Ridley Scott. No! It's one of the most famous movie series about evil extraterrestrial creatures. Since the first movie's release, Hollywood have made a ton of copycats. They've also made a ton of Alien sequels. Really, only 2 of them are good. But there is something special about these movies that have not been replicated in other sci-fi films. Even though the xenomorphs are smaller than Godzilla, like, you know, they're the same size as a human, well, about 7 feet tall, but you know, their normal standing position, they're about the same size of a human, so yeah, a lot smaller. They outnumber the monstrous lizard by a large margin. Plus, they are not to be underestimated. They have been dismembering astronauts and space explorers for decades. Aren't astronauts space explorers? So you're basically saying that when they say space explorer, you mean astronaut. The xenomorphs are not a species Godzilla would ever want to tangle with. You know, Godzilla has atomic breath. No, I'm not saying a xenomorph swarm would be, you know, just easy for Godzilla. They would definitely be like a nuisance, and it would be sort of like a swarm of ants attacking a giant animal. But Godzilla is, well, enormous, gives off radiation, and is nigh on indestructible, and can shoot atomic breaths. I know of many ways that Godzilla can just easily take out a xenomorph swarm. Number 8, Gaios. Okay, I've got to point out that Gamera isn't even on this list, but his arch nemesis is. Okay. Gaios is one of many notable kaijus in the Godzilla universe. Notable in the fact that he's never been in it. The monstrous being is somewhat of a bat-like resemblance to a pterodactyl. The Muto creatures in Gareth Edwards' Godzilla 2014 have a similar design to Gaios. No, not really. Gaios can shoot laser beams out of his mouth, not unlike Godzilla. Well, Godzilla doesn't shoot laser beams either, and Gaios' beam is more of a beam of light that can cut through anything, but I don't expect they did any research for this list. Gaios has been a part of the Gamera series for a long time, which was a monster very similar to Godzilla. But Gaios has also been present in several Godzilla films as well. No, he hasn't! Are you really mixing up Gaios with Rodan? The one who was in the last Godzilla movie that you did a review on? Jesus Christ. Number 7, the Cloverfield monster. I don't really have much problem with this selection because, well, we haven't really seen the Cloverfield monster apart from in one movie. But, you know, from what we did see, it definitely looks like it could be a monster that would do, you know, good toe-to-toe with Godzilla, so I can give them that one at least. Number 6, Kamongo. Yes, the giant spider that Godzilla has beaten many times is in the same league as Godzilla. Oh, yes, okay, sure. If you hate spiders, then you would probably be terrified of the massive Kamongo. Yeah, I kind of had to read that in a top 10 list guy voice because, well, that's basically what this sentence reads as. Kamongo was first introduced in Son of Godzilla, and certainly gave Godzilla a run for his money. Not really, actually. I would say it was a pretty one-sided fight, because Godzilla was fighting a puppet. The mini-legged creature is a vicious predator with no issue with killing humans. This list really likes to put killing humans and killing Godzilla on the same level. Like, you know, one's, you know, a small fleshy human, very easy to kill, and the other one is the king of the monsters. However, in some film stories containing Kamongo, the beast is shown to have calmed down and become friend to other monsters in its universe. That still doesn't mean it isn't terrifying and deadly, however. Well, true, yes, but, you know, Godzilla just needs to hit him once with the atomic breath, and that'll be it. That's how he killed Kamongo in Son of Godzilla. Number 5, King Ghidorah. Okay, I am willing to give you that this is in the same league as Godzilla, not maybe stronger than him, but let's see what they write. I'm sure they'll fuck it up. King Ghidorah has always been considered Godzilla's arch-nemesis. 1 point for doing the bare minimum research. He has been featured heavily in almost every version of Godzilla's storytelling. Does that sentence make sense? Most recently, Ghidorah was one of the primary antagonists of Legendary Pictures' Godzilla King of the Monsters. No, he wasn't one of them, he was the prime antagonist. You can easily understand why Ghidorah is such a threat due to the fact that he can fly, breathe fire, and you lose that point of bare minimum research because he does not breathe fire, he shoots electricity, his gravity beams, Jesus Christ. And has 3 heads. But also no arms. They kind of, you know, they don't bring that up at all. Even at the end of King of the Monsters, it's hinted that Ghidorah could return to life during the post-credit scene. Not really, I mean, it hints at something, but I wouldn't say Ghidorah coming back to life because all he is 1 head. It's plausible we may see the beast once again in the upcoming Kong vs Godzilla. Probably not whenever the hell we actually get a trailer for that. Number 4, King Kong. Well, yeah, I mean, it is the 2 great rivalries of the, you know, monster universes, Godzilla and King Kong, so yeah, they're on the same league. Stronger? Let's see how they write this one. King Kong is a giant ape-like creature. No, he is a giant ape that has an established lexicon of his own comparable to Godzilla. The debate of who would win between Kong and Godzilla has been waged for decades, and was also a film that they don't bring up. We'll see the 2 come to blows on the big screen in 2020 when Kong vs Godzilla finally debuts. The movie's about 4 months away now and we're still waiting for a trailer. However, King Kong does have one significant advantage over Godzilla in that Kong has opposable thumbs. Okay, I'm just going to pick this random Godzilla toy I have here, and you see that? That's a thumb. Godzilla also has opposable digits. Still, it'll be interesting to see the 2 creatures duke it out in the theatres. I don't think they know that the 2 have already fought in King Kong vs Godzilla. I really don't think they know that. Number 3, The Host. You know, I really need to watch that movie. The monster the film focuses on appears to be a mutated fish. I thought it was more like a frog-tadpole sort of hybrid. It's undoubtable that it will have the upper hand if it and Godzilla should fight in the sea. Well, not really. The Host is about, what, 10 meters long? It's not really that big in comparison to Godzilla. It's pretty tiny. It's basically like a tadpole to Godzilla. You could crush it in his hand easily. Number 2, Colossal. This is another movie I haven't watched, so I can't really much comment on it, but giving off its design, it doesn't, well, it looks around about the same height as Godzilla. It doesn't look like it's going to be, well, you know, stronger. It looks quite weedy and thin and fragile, really. Like, Godzilla could probably snap it in half like a twig. This isn't me saying Godzilla can beat everyone, but, you know, I'm putting more thinking into this than this bloody list. And number 1, the creatures from Tremors. They didn't even get the name right. They're called graboids. They don't actually call them graboids at all in this thing. They just call them the creatures from Tremors. Christ. I think they just typed in movie monsters and just put them all in this list and didn't even bother. Tremors is a 1990 monster film. That said, it's not precisely horror themed. It tends to be more of a comedy. That's true, but also this movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I was afraid of going out in like open fields and stuff like that because I thought like, oh, the Tremor creatures are going to be there and they're going to kill me. It's probably best known for being one of Kevin Bacon's earlier films, and the craziness of the plotline. This film is all about a massive snake-like being that tears apart the town of Perfection in Nevada. It's feasible that they could overpower Godzilla, especially if they approach him from underground in a sneak attack. This is another size thing again, because they are nowhere near the size of Godzilla. They are bugs to Godzilla. He can just step on them. What a shit list. Yeah, that's really just how I'm going to end this video. This is a real shit list. Tell me your thoughts about this shit list in the comments below, and, you know, subscribe and all that good stuff. I'm Alexander, and I'll see you guys next time. Christ. They pay people to write this stuff.